So yeah, it's an easy thing to do. Is start with your hand dangling from the top. Good thing to remember is try and keep your fingers pointed at the ground. If you do that, you have a space underneath your arm for this stick to actually go. So that way, even if it is a little bit on the short side, it's still going to go underneath your arm. As soon as you lift your hand up, that's when it's going to bounce into your arm. So you want to try and just make sure that you've got your fingers pointed down the way. So you'll see sometimes when I'm doing it, as it comes round, especially when it's going under my hand, I tilt my hand towards me just so that I've got that little bit of space, and that makes it much, much easier. I'm already getting brave, because once you've got that idea of kind of going with it, it's all circles. So you've got your circles there, so you want to be able to comfortably do your circles in both directions, and with that, it's just like stalling with point. Follow it a little bit, and then go in the other direction. So you just kind of follow it, and then stop, follow it, stop, follow it. There you go, look at that, and then you go the other way. So now you've got circles, you can start doing big circles around your head, like that. Close, let it go out, and then round. So you'll feel it, it's nice floaty feeling. So if you're going clockwise, once it gets to the front, that's when you're going to feel it kind of go up and all around. So there you go, it's a nice slow movement. There you are. Okay, so it's just nice gentle moves, there you go, all around. Once you've got it again going that way, just stop it and try it again the other way. Give yourself a couple of little circles first. There you go, and then go around. If you keep your hand down, it'll be easier. So if you've got your hand all the way up here, again you've got that flat line. If it's down, you've got the space. Okay, yes, keep it nice and relaxed. I've got all these things when I get here, I'm like, mind blank. So yeah, so basically you've got circles and lines. That's what I talk about, circles and lines. That's circles, so that's easy enough. So that gives you a chance to actually get something to practice there. Lines is when it goes in a straight line across your body. This is a little bit harder because a lot of people do this to begin with and they scoop it. Scooping I don't like. I hate scooping. First of all, it bashes into the string, it bashes into the hand, and if you do that, I think it gives it away. So I do what I call countering. Basically, my right hand, the hand that's attached to it, is basically counteracting exactly everything the wand is doing. You can either lift it up as it comes, or what I prefer to do, if you look at it from the side, it comes back towards me, basically. So the wand, is actually going in like a circle.
Okay, so it's fingers outwards now.
Yeah, now it doesn't matter so much. It doesn't matter so much. So again, your best part is to actually start from a kind of stopping position, and then you kind of, do you know what, it doesn't really matter as long as you're not hitting it. You're kind of going for this push me pull you. So it's push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. This is a bit harder. This takes a little bit of getting used to it, and you kind of have to be a bit more aware of getting yourself out of the way. So that one, like I said, is a little bit harder. But you're just backwards and forwards. Just let your hand, it's push me, pull you. I like the idea of just making sure that my hand comes towards me as I'm doing it, basically. So you're going to get the side walk like an Egyptian move. But if you want, you do also have that whole kind of push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. So your hand is literally counteracting everything it does. It's what I also now, because of work, and I call it the Jedi move, because it's constantly following your hand. So you kind of get this. So you're basically doing this like Jedi mind trick the whole time, which I know. So yeah, it's nice easy ones to get started. I've already talked a little bit about stalling. That's a really good one to do if you just get used to that idea of following it around and following it back. So it's like with the circles, you have to get a bit of a twist into it as you stall. So you're kind of like twisting your hand and twisting your hand, and you just get that little bump each time just to stop the wand from going.
Is it best to have the string hand end or finger end?
Doesn't matter actually. I prefer it hand end actually. I feel I've got just a little more control that way. If it's right on the tips of my fingers, I find my fingers can start to sag a little bit and it can drop off the end of my fingers. So I prefer to have it more on my hand so that I don't have to. So yeah, so like I said, once you've got your circles and your lines and stuff, it's just getting that feeling of stalling to get you from one to the other as well. So even when you do the push me pull you, just that little bit on the end of each one, it's just that little jerk back just to get that stall, and that just keeps it a little bit cleaner. So I have it in my fingers, I can feel my fingers scooping it back, so scoop, 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 scoop each time, just to keep that little bit more control. And I just find that way you don't get this kind of little at the end, at the end, at the end. So you just got that, you're coming back, coming back, coming back. Yeah! It's good. If you do it a lot, if you give yourself quite a hard jerk back, it will just come straight back towards you. And that's when you can do things like catching it as well, which is quite nice. That's kind of the basic moves. That's kind of just getting used to how it feels. This is where the fun stuff starts. Because what I'm going to do, I don't teach tricks. Tricks is something I don't teach. But I do teach rescues. So if you fuck up, this is what you do. There's a couple of things to start off. The easiest one is you catch it and you spin it. You ever see me do that in the middle of a performance? It's because I fucked up. Trade secret right there. So basically, the string is literally just going over your thumb and you just let go. You don't have to pull the string tight. If you pull it tight, it will just stop the wand. So you can keep it quite relaxed. There's a lot of looseness in that string. It doesn't matter. There you go. Nice and gentle. And be careful with this one as well, but make sure you go in both directions. If you're constantly going in the same direction, your string will just wind up on itself. So that's a really nice one, okay? And that's the easiest one. Catch it. Catch it. Spin it. There you go. You've got a nice kind of slackness in there. It's just getting used to that feeling. I actually started off, I think, with having it in between my first two fingers, my squarey fingers, and did it like that instead. I found that a little bit easier, so you might want to try that and see if that works any better, because that way it's already against the flat of your hand. If it's over your thumb, your heel's in the way, so you kind of have to be aware of that. But if it's over your fingers, you don't have to think about that quite as much. So it's easier. Some people find thumb easier. Some people find thumb easier. Some people find fingers easier. It's you. Another really good one. Let's see. Let's go for the slightly more complicated one first. If you're going backwards and forwards, like I was doing before, everybody right-handed here.
Not quite.
Is everybody attached to their right hand? Okay, let's be ambidextrous then. Whichever hand your string is attached to, when the wand goes to that side, so in my case it's attached to my right hand side, when my wand goes to the right, what you're going to do is you're going to get your hand in between the wand and the string. Okay, so that's your first part. So backwards and forwards, get to your string hand, get it in between the wand and the string. So the string will be up the back of your wrist, basically. Okay? So once you've got your hand to that position, this is where the really nice bit is. Put the string, what's left of the string, just over your thumb, so the string's now coming in between your thumb and your index finger, between the thumb and the wand. Okay, so once it's there, if you just pull that really gently, the wand goes all the way around your hand like that, and just comes straight back into your hand again. It's a really nice little move. This was one of these moves I found by accident, because I was like, oh my god, and I got quite excited by it. Okay, so hand in between there, string over the thumb, and then you're just pulling it really gently. So with that one, now we've got into it, you can actually do the opposite to get back out. So this time, when you catch it, even easier catch. You catch at the bottom, under the string, and this time you're going to flip it around the back of your hand. Yeah. So once you've got it here, you're just going to flip it around the back of your hand. So it's exactly the same as what you just did, but opposite. So it goes around the back to where it was. So yes, it will do. Eventually, if your string does tangle up too much, I find sometimes it helps just to take it off and stroke it. Excellent! Okay, so yeah, basically that's kind of like the main basic things I would actually kind of go for teaching. The other things that you can actually start thinking about is what your other hand's doing. Your other hand flails a lot. It doesn't do anything constructive, it doesn't generally do anything useful unless it comes to tricks that help you out. But other than that, this is where it takes a little bit more effort. My general rules of thumb for beginners is keep hands together, or one hand top, one hand bottom, something like that. So you can do things like that, just think about that just like. Okay, that's my general rule of thumb. So you get hands together, so doing things like that, swish, 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 or one hand top, one hand bottom. Whoop, 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 whoop. I can't not make the noises as well, I apologise. It becomes a conflict.
That's good, noises are good, obviously. I can't help it, you're just like,
it is. One of my favourite ones actually is when you're doing the backwards and forwards, is to use your left hand like the left hand's the one that's doing it. So you get again that Jedi mind power. So left hand pushes, left hand pulls, left hand pushes, left hand pulls. That's, there you go, that's one of my favourite ones. So you can get this whoosh, 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 and then just hammer up like you're on stage. It's cute. And just imagine you actually have Jedi mind powers. It's great. Yeah. So that is a really good one. Once you get your other hand going, it just starts to feel natural. You'll start to feel a lot of the moves, and even your legs will start to do it. No, it's really good. That's really good. Like I said, if you do find that something's happened, it starts to tilt, try one of those little moves. Catch it, twist it, do something like that. Do the other one in the back of the hand. That kind of idea. It's really good just to start using those moves now, because that way, even if you're in a full-blown performance and you fuck up, you've got something there to catch you and to rescue you. That's why I call them rescues, not tricks.
So the thumb one was just a grab here and...
Grab here and just twist. That's a nice one, because when you've got the full LED lit up, that looks really pretty. And then people just get distracted by the shiny thing rather than the fact that you just made a mess.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to circles and lines.
More danger.
This time, instead of being quite open and flaily with it, you want to do, you all familiar with body tracing? Little bit familiar body tracing, it's a pie concept, the whole concept of keeping your hands quite
So it
close
doesn't
to your
do
body.
with a dead person with some chalk then?
No, alas it isn't. That would be awesome. But that, unfortunately, is not a job thing. So basically, instead of actually bringing your hands out and round as we go round, you actually want to try and keep your hands as close to your body as you possibly can. That is the concept, especially going around the head. So basically you want to kind of touch your head like the whole way around. This is where it gets a little bit harder. So you want a little bit more momentum and a little bit more movement from your body. If you stand still while you do this, it's going to get really difficult. So you really want to kind of let yourself go around with it.
This is the hit you in the face move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
This is the one that really bruises. But this is a really, really nice one. Like once you start to get into it, you can really confuse people by kind of keeping your hands quite close as you turn, and people get really confused by that. So as you're turning, you can use the turn to keep your body, but keep your body
so can you spin and turn at the same time? Or?
Yeah. It's like hooping, it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
If you stand still and do it, your hand has to have the momentum.
No, I mean, you said a double spin or a single spin.
What do you mean?
I mean, are you spinning this while spinning your arm around your head, or are you just doing the whole movement while pulling it down?
No, I'm doing it around my head as well. So I've got my circle as well.
Yeah.
So it's coming out to the back of my head,
Yeah.
and that's when I'm kind of following it around. And it's my body that I use to keep the momentum in it. It's not my hand. If you stand still, it has to be your hands. There's no other way of putting momentum in there. If you use your body, just like the hooping, that just keeps it going around. A good thing to try actually, if you go in anti-clockwise, when you get to the back of your head, when it comes to the front, try and see if you can keep your hand on the back of your head and just turn with it. But not get dizzy, don't let too much.